So from time to time, I get these comments from agents, and I can completely understand what's going on. But in my mind, it sounds like this: Kelly, I am not a salesperson. I'm not going to recommend any coverage or any other policies unless they come to me. And I always kind of giggle a little bit. I said, hey, that's not a salesperson. A salesperson's kind of really going out and actively hunting and killing and doing all that. That's just giving good service. But a lot of times that negativity kind of gets beat up in our head. If you have in your mind the time that you were in the worst sales process of your life, it was uncomfortable and just not something you enjoyed, you think every salesperson is that way. But a lot of times we don't counterbalance that by thinking, well, what have been some good sales experiences I've had? Sales, the word, gets this super dirty, dirty, dirty word. And I remember in college, I took a sales course, and I don't know why I took it. I never saw myself as a salesperson, and it was the most captivating class that I took. First of all, the instructor was amazing, and he really broke down a lot of these boundaries people have on the S word of sales. And the one thing I learned from it was there's the slimeball salespeople, just like there's slimeball insurance agents out there, but the best salespeople are just educators. Really, what we do, and take the S word out of it, is people have insurance problems. They have insurance needs, and we're here to represent the solutions. And so when you look at it that way, it changes things. That's one way to break down any negativity you might have around sales. The second thing is, how do you want to be treated? So if you go into your kid's school for parent-teacher conferences, or on Zoom these days, if you know what I mean, and the teacher knows your kid is struggling and they don't make a recommendation to you because they don't think you'll do it, they don't have time, or they don't think that you can afford it, are you mad? Because the answer is usually yes. And so they're not salespeople, they're teachers, right? But making recommendations to solve potential problems is something that's in almost every role and every job in America. And so we have to kind of divorce ourselves from the S word. I mean, I've even had some people say making a renewal call is a cold call. It's not a cold call. They're a paying customer. A cold call is calling a phone number out of a phone book. But a lot of times what happens is we have a wrinkle in our brain about a word, sales, making an outbound call. And so then we associate it to the worst thing that we can think about, the most dramatic. And instead, I want you to take a deep breath when you hear the sales word and say, I just want to educate people on insurance. And the more people know, the more they're going to make the right decisions. And hopefully they do it with us. That's the essence of insurance sales. Now, the trip ups are time. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time. I hear this all the time. And I always say, how can we be in an industry that our job is to protect people, yet we don't have enough time to do that? I just think that that's something like on the 50,000 foot view, that's a mentality thing. I always thought like, hey, there's somebody on here. Let me take the time. I don't know when they're going to call back again, and calling them again later seems foolish. Take the time, be present. Don't worry about the stack. The stack will always get done. But if you're trying to rush through your work so you have time to educate, you're never going to be successful at it. And also too, that negativity sometimes comes from this other thing I want to talk about, which is having a little bit of either a lack of confidence in saying, well, I don't really know what to say, how to say it. I don't know if they're going to lash out on me. I can tell you, just get the words out of your mouth. Most people are really cool about it. And they'll say, hey, not right now, or maybe let me think about it. But you're never going to get this, what? And then the other thing is, we're not used to, in blended roles of servicing and selling, hearing the N word, which is no. And so that can often be sort of a little bit of damaging our own egos. We all have an ego. And so what you have to do is realize that no means not right now. So really address it with yourself. Do I have sales negativity? And if so, what's spurring it on? And how, as we end this year, can I challenge myself to be the best? Because the best agents do take the time to educate their clients. They don't take the time to just sell them something to jam them into a policy. They take the time to educate people so that a client can make the best decision for their family or business. And so if we flip-flop the word sales and education and insurance, they pretty much can flip flop each other, but one has a different connotation. So that's our way to blast through sales negativity. And if you don't think of yourself as an educator, ask yourself, I'm not a salesperson, I'm not an educator. What am I? Because that only leaves you that you're a transaction person. You handle just transactions all day. And in agencies that are ridiculously amazing, that role of a transaction coordinator is not really in existence. So ask yourself, could you peel apart the onion and get out of your comfort zone to see a different result? I think you can. And we're here there to support you. This is one of the key components we have in both our Apex sales and our Apex retention programs, where we talk about cross-selling and new business sales. But we see all too often in our secret shopper calls, about 50% of the time, the person asks for a policy. That's what we give them. We don't cross-sell, and that's just leaving money on the table, and oftentimes leaving this uncompetitive in personal lines due to cross-selling and the multi-policy discount. So we're changing things up next year. All of our programs are going to be part of a bigger package. And so if you've ever wanted to do a renewal call program or sales training program, now is the time to talk. As long as we get that agreement solidified this year, we can start anytime next year whatsoever to get your team trained up on it. But if not, you're just going to have to wait and see what we have in store for next year, which are going to be some bigger programs so we can guarantee everybody's results. So now is the time. Time is of the essence. Talk to us today and we'll set you up with the right plan. Thanks so much.